like that job isn't a real attractive job right now, but to make it an attractive job, you need there not to be the threat of you leaving every single year. Like Fran Brown in Syracuse is a good job, but like there's a threat of him leaving every single year, and that can't be what Oklahoma State wants. Part of why Gundy was able to sustain success was because there really wasn't the threat of him leaving. The only time he left or tried to leave was when he tried to get the Florida job instead of Billy Napier. Who could replace Mike Gundy? Mike Gundy's out at Oklahoma State. Top candidates, transfers, recruits to watch. You know, this firing was a little bit surprising to me. Mike Gundy is barely a... Oklahoma State knew this. Okay, so a couple things, dude. So, 2 years ago, Oklahoma State was in the Big 12 title game. Just wild to think about. 2023, they were in the Big 12 title game. It was Ollie Gordon versus Quinn Ewers. In a game that they lost, but still, like, definitely something notable. Like, I thought that was a good run, and for a guy who was like a legendary coach, you would think that, okay, that would buy in some time. But Mike Gundy barely escaped 2024 with this job after a winless Big 12 campaign. So from in the Big 12 title game to a winless Big 12 campaign that crashed with a 52-0 loss at Colorado. That's disgusting. Gundy then replaced his entire coaching staff. Okay, that's a booster call. It's like, you know, you tell your boosters, it's not my fault, it's their fault, and then you fire everybody. And entered the season with a tenuous quarterback situation, which became more dire after starter Haas, don't know how to say his last name, broke his foot in the opener. Normally, situations like Oklahoma State's don't end well, even for a coach as synonymous with the program as Gundy. The team's first home loss to Tulsa since 1951 spelled the end for Gundy, who was fired on Tuesday. Gundy is the winningest coach in Oklahoma State history and led his alma mater to 9 AP top 20 finishes between 2008 and 2021. But the program fell off sharply after 2023 and now have a reset. This is a legit legend being fired, like a legend being fired. And honestly, like, I know the Dabo's won natties, but like, you got to look over there at Dabo and think like, I am 2 years removed from, or I'm 2 years away from losing this job. I know I made the playoffs from the ACC, but if we're bad this year and win 3 games, and then next year's bad as well, it could spell some real trouble. When Oklahoma and Texas left the Big 12, Gundy thought Oklahoma State was positioned to potentially be the league's new kingpin. They should have been. But the league has changed. Schools like Texas Tech are making major investment, and Oklahoma State's future looks murky. Still, Oklahoma State had some definite pluses, including a history of winning that Gundy molded. I mean, he should have been the top dog as soon as Oklahoma and Texas left. Like, he should have been next up. I mean, I remember back in the day, man, it was like Zach Robinson and him were doing some real damage. Honestly, I haven't read this yet, but I'm hoping to see Zach Robinson on this list. Zach Robinson played quarterback for Gundy, and then I think he's in Atlanta right now. That makes the most sense, right? Falcons moving OC Zach Robinson to the sideline. Let's find a Zach Robinson Wikipedia. I mean, because he's been in the NFL for a while, Zach Robinson could be the name at Oklahoma. I think we solved it. I think that we solved who was going to be the next head coach over there. Dude, why can't I find a Zach Robinson? Okay, just the Zach Robinson biography. Yeah, Oklahoma. He was at Oklahoma State is the point. I don't know if you could find highlights. Zach Robinson for Oklahoma State, 2006, 2007, 2008, 2009. 2009, or 2008 was the big year, and that was a Gundy year, I think. 3,000 yards, 25 touchdowns, and he's been around football now for a while. Oh, here's his Wikipedia. Des Bryant, next head coach. No, dude, I think it's got to be Zach Robinson, born September, early life. 7th round, 250th pick overall, playing career, coaching career. So we got into coaching in 2019. He was the Los Angeles Rams assistant quarterbacks coach, then was the Rams assistant receiver coach, then another assistant quarterbacks coach, and then pass game coordinator coach, then Falcons, the OC. I know that McVay loved him and spoke very highly about him. This might be a Joe Brady type, but whatever. Let's not look. If I haven't read the article yet, so if Zach Robinson's in there, it's a major win for the good guys. Let me move this over. Do we need to make it bigger? Five candidates for the job. UTSA coach Jeff Taylor. 2 years ago, Taylor would have been a slam dunk for Oklahoma State, and he still might. He was on the radar for higher profile jobs like Texas A&M after leading UTSA to 23 wins and consecutive Conference USA titles 2021 to 2022. He was an assistant at Texas, SMU, Arkansas before heading to... Okay, so he makes a ton of sense. Texas State coach... GJ Kine. If Oklahoma wants to reset with a young rising star, he makes a lot of sense. 38-year-old starter quarterback for Tulsa, winning Conference USA Offensive Player of the Year honors and finishing with 9,000 passing yards and 81 touchdowns after a pro career. He coached and moved up the ranks pretty quickly. There is a fly in here, and I want it to just go away. Okay, A&M offensive coordinator Colin Klein. He was a guy that they called like the Kansas State version of Tebow. So that's fascinating. He was a quarterback. I remember his quarterback era. That's the era that made me fall in love with college football. Finished third in the Heisman Trophy voting in 2012. That was the year that Ohio State went undefeated. Before moving up the ranks quickly, coached Kansas State quarterbacks from 2016 to 2023, and now is the OC there. Dang. Nope, we did not get any... No, not Eric Morris. You need him at UNT. Got it. Not Eric Morris. Eric Morris, you were not allowed to take the job. Important players to retain. This quarterback, I guess, is pretty good. I don't know anything about him. But I don't think they'll retain any of these. There's going to have to be a full rebuild and restart. Oop, they're going to have to rebuild this whole thing. My mom's asking what I want. I guess I'm killing her by not giving her a solid answer. It's got to be Zach Robinson. Zach Robinson's got to interview for this job. Like he's destined to like be a career guy, and they need someone that would want to be there for a long time because like quite honestly like that job isn't a real attractive job right now, but to make it an attractive job, you need there not to be the threat of you leaving every single year. Like Fran Brown in Syracuse is a good job, but like there's a threat of him leaving every single year, and that can't be what Oklahoma State wants. Part of why Gundy was able to sustain success was because there really wasn't the threat of him leaving. The only time he left or tried to leave was when he tried to get the Florida job instead of Billy Napier. But he does feel like he kind of gave up, kind of quite quit. But they need someone who's going to be invested and want to stay there for a long time. Because if not, you're gonna run into that place being a horrible job. But thanks for coming to the members only stream. I'm gonna get on out of here and go watch some baseball. I think, did I get the Nat? No, I did not. I'm gonna go watch some baseball. I appreciate you guys, and obviously this is kind of one of the member perks. I'll try to do at least one of these a week, and then as I get more comfortable, I'll ramp it up to 3 or 4 a week. But I am gonna put out a couple little episodes from this. Thank you for tapping in. If you want to be a part of the full stream, become a member. I'll holler at you guys.